Hi, Shea here. If you don't know me, I'm a wife and mom of two, and I help entrepreneurial women master their mindset and build a successful online business without sacrificing time with their loved ones so they can live their dream life. And this week, I want to talk to you about what is a scarcity mindset and how it might be keeping you stuck in a negative cycle. So first, we're obviously going to have to talk about what is a scarcity mindset and identify the different ways that you are living out a scarcity mindset before we can begin to sort of work through the different scarcity mindset habits that you have in order to live your best life and run a successful business and all of those things and live an abundant life. But if you find some value at all in this video, please be sure to like it and share this video with somebody else that you think would also find value. And leave a comment. Tell me what your favorite tip was, or maybe what you're currently struggling with so that you can release it into the universe so that you can open your life to abundance. So there was an interesting thing that actually happened in one of the shows that I was watching, and it was about, I think it was the Winter Soldier and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And so he talked about how, oh no, it was Loki, right? It was Loki. And it was Loki, and I don't want to ruin anything for you, but something about somebody getting taken out of power and how it leaves like a vacuum. And so that I want to use to make a sort of metaphor into what a scarcity mindset is and how it can really help you create an abundance mindset because, kind of like everything has an equal opposite reaction, kind of the same way with how you think about things. If you always feel like there's never enough, you're almost creating that consistent never enough feeling, right? But once you open up to a little bit more, then more can come to you, right? So when you're more free with what you do have, you have an abundance mindset. You believe that you can, give somebody $5 here and there, or you can give somebody that, sandwich instead and you can go buy one or whatever, things like that. Then you're opening up that space to accept new things. Or maybe like with clothes. Every year I try to donate a bunch of my clothes. And when I donate those clothes, then it opens the space literally and figuratively for more abundance to come my way. And so when you are living in a scarcity mindset, it's the mindset like my grandparents had because they had went through the Great Depression where they just felt like they needed to save every button, everything. And so I want you to identify the different ways in your life that you're kind of living out that scarcity mindset. What are the things that you're doing that are just leading you to believe that there is not enough, you can never get enough, or, you have to like save every little thing that you have because you're not going to be replenished with that thing. So some of the ways that I live out a scarcity mindset, and I have always kind of struggled with the scarcity mindset. And so I've talked about this in both my videos about abundance and my money mindset video, and maybe even, fixed mindset versus growth mindset. This is like a concept I do keep coming back to because it's something that I struggle with myself. So that's the whole point is I am going through these things too, so I identify who you are and where you're coming from. And these are the things that have helped me sort of break through some of these barriers that I've built in my life. And so for a scarcity mindset for myself, it is as simple as, some things I used to do, like going to the grocery store. My husband would always be like, you can buy, the slightly more expensive cheese because it's only like the pennies. It's pennies on the pound. I mean, really, I'm maybe spending an extra 50 cents. But, for myself, it was always those pennies add up. And they do. And that's great. It's great to be, fiscally minded. It's great to be, careful with the money that you do have, but not to the point that it is creating blocks around things in your life. And so that's kind of the difference is what are the ways that you're living out a scarcity mindset, and are they blocking you from accepting the abundance of the universe? And so I'm going to give you a few examples of my life and how I've noticed it change, okay? So when I was working as a waitress, this is early in my life. This was when I first met my husband. This was when I was unencumbered. I was single. I had no kids. I had nothing, right? And I remember those days because I do remember I used to give money freely. I used to pay for things freely. I used to do more fun things because I didn't have responsibilities uh, outside of, normal things. I was just exploring my freedom. And then when I did get married and have kids and so on and so forth, that was when I also got laid off from my job. That was also when my husband was staying home at the time to take care of my kids. That was when we wanted to get married and buy a house. And so there was all of these different things that were coming up. And I found that my main source of income was depleted or eliminated, or I guess it wasn't depleted, but yeah, it was eliminated. And so that was when I noticed all those little things that really started to pile up. I started saving every little thing. Like we couldn't buy a button if somebody lost a button on my shirt. And it's absolutely ridiculous because I don't even sew, nor do I have a sewing kit. So never in my life have I ever sewn a button on something, but I would save these buttons and silly things as if someday it may come in handy, right? But as I've gone further in my entrepreneurial career, I have noticed that it really is hindering. I would constantly feel like I needed to do things on my own, or I needed to, you know, I don't know, yeah, create my own graphics, which I'm not great at, or learn something for free, which, they only give you so much for free, and all of these other ways. And so that can keep you stuck in a negative cycle because you continue to attract lack, right? So the more lack you feel, you keep attracting more lack. Energy attracts like energy. And it's when you start giving more freely with your, I keep using money as an example, that you can attract more money. And it's actually the main reason I despise the hotel that I did work at when I was in a career was because the owner that took over, I remember being so frustrated that I was constantly being either, yelled at by a boss, or I was constantly being, it was a hotel and it had a coffee shop brand in there. And so the coffee shop brand, you have to live up to their standards. And so the representative of that company would come and yell at me because I didn't have this or that or the other thing. And it was very frustrating because I couldn't, the owner of the hotel wouldn't give me the money for it, or, it was a union property, so my hands were tied, or I had so many different bosses, so the rules changed week by week, all of those little things. And I remember being frustrated with the owner of the hotel that you have to make money. In order to make money, you have to spend money. And the same is true for your life and if you're building your own business, but it is still more than that. So when I say that it is still more than that, what are the other areas in your life that you are still living out that scarcity mindset, right? So maybe it is that you feel that you're not appreciated enough at work, but you continue to accept the lack of appreciation. That is a scarcity mindset. You're frustrated that you're not getting it, and yet you continue to accept it. Maybe it is respect. Someone continues to treat you with a lack of respect, and you continue to accept it, or people continue to overstep their boundaries with you, and you continue to accept it. These are all scarcity mindset habits that you have created in your life. And even with yourself, things like if you have kids, you definitely identify with this one. Every single food item I try to eat, my kids want to eat, so sometimes I just give it to them because it's like whatever, but then I'm hungry, and that's the scarcity mindset. It's great to, of course, feed your kids, but, sometimes when it's my dinner and they have their own dinner, they need to eat their own dinner because I deserve to eat a dinner of my own too. And it goes into other areas of your life. Are you, getting the hair care that you want, the shampoo and the conditioner that you want, or are you just getting the cheaper brand because you think you have to get the cheaper brand? Are you not, taking time for your mental health every day because you think that you need to be there for your family? It's all of those ways that are also areas of lack. You're continuing to do a lack and a scarcity mindset, and it's just perpetuating the problems. And if you continue to get frustrated, you're just going to continue to attract more frustration. So how do you fix it? So how do you fix a scarcity mindset? I think the very first thing after identifying the different ways that you are living out a scarcity mindset and a lack mindset is to begin by making those small adjustments every day. It's like I said, instead of just settling and letting my kids eat off of my plate every single night, I have doubled dinners and they have the exact same dinner that I have, so that not every night, but just as an example, that is something that I did like last night, that it was they have the exact same dinner. They don't need my dinner. They need to eat their dinner and be okay with it. My kids are 2 and 1, so you do what you have to do with 2 and 1 year olds. But that was one thing that I started doing. A second thing is that I take my time in the morning for my mental health. I take that time to genuinely appreciate the hour I have a day away from my kids typically, because for the most part, the rest of the day is my time with my kids. If I can squeeze in some work, that's great. But I don't always get the chance to, and that's okay because that was the decision that I made. But that 1 hour, that's mine. And then, setting boundaries with people. I used to always, set boundaries. People wouldn't respect them. And I felt like, I have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with it. You don't. And that's something that my husband taught me. And you know what? Some people don't appreciate that my husband taught me that, but too bad. My boundaries are my boundaries. And, you don't have to draw the line in the sand like that so quickly, but there's little things that you do every day, whether it is, buying a snack for yourself today because you deserve to have snacks today. That's fine. Start making those small adjustments and then start building up into the bigger ones, because once you start creating an abundance mindset, it does really kind of snowball. Another thing to do is, every day start with either meditation, your daily gratitude, and identify the things of abundance that you already have in your life instead of constantly feeling the things that you don't have. When you connect with the energy of love, then more love is available to you. And that is from Gabby Bernstein, and The Universe Has Your Back. But it's true. Once you start doing more things for yourself, more better things keep happening, right? And then as far as money goes, a great tip that I heard from Jessica Higdon, I just was listening to a training of hers that she had done. And in her training, she was talking about her money mindset story. And it's great. If you don't know her story, go follow her, go check her out. But in a nutshell, she felt like if she could have money, that she was going to lose it. And it was Tony Robbins himself that had told her that that's not true. You have to be liberal, you have to be free with the money that you have so you can open up the universe to give you more money, right? So I think especially during the pandemic and everything like that, you can sit there and feel like you just don't have enough money or there's no money coming in, but it's just giving away the money that you do have, and it doesn't have to be much. At the grocery store when you check out and they say, do you want to donate, to this foundation? Sometimes they round up to the nearest dollar. So you could do 75 cents. You can do what you can afford. But yes, opening up that space and that energy is what will create more abundance. And then you'll just inevitably come out of a scarcity mindset because you won't be scarce anymore. You won't be in lack anymore. And so I hope that you found some value in this video today. If you did, yes, please tell me what your favorite tip was. And again, tell me what you're struggling with. I would love to help you with that. And thank you. If you want some more support, go grab my Mindset Mastery Guide that's in the link below. And you can read more on my blog about this topic. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next week.